Hello, and welcome to Level 1 Mechanics. In this video we're going to look at speed, we're going to look at the units for speed, the formula for speed, and how to use that formula to solve speed problems. So, speed is how fast an object is moving. The units for speed are meters per second. You can write that as m/s or ms-1. I recommend though ms-1. That's what your exam markers will be looking for, ms-1. They do not want to see ms or m/s. Another unit for speed, of course, is kilometers per hour, and that can be written as km/h or kmh-1. Again, that is what you want to use. You don't want to use km/h. SI units for speed. Sometimes you'll see this in your exam or problems, and SI, you wonder what's SI? Well, SI is the French invented the metric system basically, and it's the international system of units. Okay, and right here, le système international des units. Excuse my bad accent, but that's what it is, and basically it's international system of units. So if you run into SI units in your exam, you can just ignore the SI and just concentrate on the units. SI units for speed, of course, are meters per second and kilometers per hour. Calculating speed. The formula to calculate speed is V equals d over t, where v is speed and the units for speed are ms-1. The reason they use v is a lot of physicists like to use the term velocity, and velocity and speed are pretty much the same thing. The only thing is velocity includes direction, so that's why they use v. The d stands for distance, and that's measured in meters. The t is time, and that's measured in seconds. Alright? You can also have the units kilometers per hour, kilometers, and hours. It all depends on the questions you're asked. Alright, calculating speed. Here we'll go through this example here. A car travels 180 kilometers in 3 hours. What is the average speed of the car? Alright? When I do physics problems, I like to write down what I know and what I don't know, and then from that I can work out how to work out the problem. So we start off with this. V equals speed, and as you can see, that's what we're looking for. So what is the average speed? Okay, and whenever you're asked for average speed, this is the formula you can use. Alright, so V is our question mark. We don't know what it is. D is the distance. So we take a look at our question, and the distance is 180 kilometers. Next one is time, and you can see from the question time is 3 hours. So all we need to do now is we take our formula and we plug our numbers into the formula. Alright, so V equals d over t, or V equals 180 kilometers over 3 hours. You divide those and you get 60 kilometers per hour. Okay? It's as easy as that. Let's try another question. A Kiwi runs 35 meters in 7 seconds. What is his speed? Alright, so again, we're looking for speed, so V equals our question mark. Our distance is 35 meters. Our time is 7 seconds. So all we need to do is put those numbers into the formula. V equals 35 divided by 7. And of course V equals 5 meters per second, so our speed is 5 meters per second. Next we're going to look at a thing called the magic triangle. Sometimes you don't want to solve for speed, but you may want to solve for distance or time, and that's where this triangle comes in very handy, especially if you have difficulties with algebra. Okay, so we draw this triangle and we add the letters D and T to it. Notice how D is on top of t. So we do the same thing for our triangle. We put the d at the top and the t is at the bottom. Okay, and that leaves one space left in this corner here for v. Alright, so that's how you draw the triangle. You're going to have to know how to do this. In your exam, you will not be given these triangles. You'll be given the formula. You have to come up with the triangle. If you're solving for d, you just take your finger and cover up the d. So if you've got a question that asks you to determine the distance, take your finger, cover up the d. And from that, we can use this triangle and we can say d equals v times t. Alright? Now, if we wanted to solve for t, we take our finger, cover up the t. And that means that our formula for time is t equals d over t. Okay, all very simple. So let's use this new skill in solving a problem. A sprinter is able to achieve an average speed of 10.4 meters per second. How long does it take him to travel 100 meters? Alright, so we're looking for v, d, and t. From our problem, we can see that v is 10.4 meters per second. D, the distance is 100 meters. And t is what we're looking for. So if we take our handy triangle, we're looking for t, so we cover up the t, and we can see that t equals d divided by v. So now we just take our numbers, put them in. So we've got t equals 100 meters divided by 10.4 meters per second. We use our handy calculators and we can calculate that. 9.615384615. Alright, there's many more decimal places than we actually need. To be safe, I would say just round to 2 decimal places. But if you're going to go on to physics next year, you should realize that you take a look at the numbers that you start with. You can see here we've got 100. That's got 3 significant figures, and 10.4 has 3 significant figures. So what that means is our answer should have 3 significant figures, and in this case 9.62. But at this level you can just round it to 2 decimal places and that'll be fine. And of course our unit's going to be seconds, because we're dealing with meters, and here's the seconds, meters per second. It's not going to be hours, it's going to be seconds. And, well, that's how you do it. So tomorrow you can try this stuff in class.